Hello everyone, this is English with Bushra. We are going to practice our listening. I'm going to read for you a narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. Let's get started. My mother was named Harriet Bailey. She was the daughter of Isaac and Betsy Bailey. My father was a white man. People whispered that my master was my father, but I don't know if this is true. My mother and I were separated when I was but an infant. It is the custom in Maryland to send the mother to work at another farm before the child is 12 months old. The child is put under the care of an old woman, too old for field labor. My mother made her journeys to see me at night, traveling 12 miles on foot after her day's work. She would lie down and get me to sleep, but long before I woke, she was gone. Death soon ended what little communication we could have had while she lived, and with it all her hardships and suffering. She died when I was 7 years old, on one of my master's farms near Lee's Mill. I was probably 8 when I left Colonel Leod plantation and was sent to Baltimore to live with my master brother-in-law, Mr. Ould. During this time I began to learn how to read and write. My mistress was a kind and pious woman who had never owned a slave before. Before her marriage she had made a living from her work. She had been a weaver. She treated me the way she supposed that one human being should treat another. She very kindly began to teach me the ABCs. But her husband found out what she was doing and told her not to teach me any more. It was against the law to teach a slave to read. He said, a slave should only know how to obey his master, nothing more. If you teach him to read, he will be discontent and unhappy, and he will be of no use as a slave. My mistress then began to obey her husband. She finally became more violent in her opposition to my reading than her husband. But from that moment I understood the pathway to freedom. When I was sent to errands, I always took my book. I used to carry bread with me. Enough of it was always in the house, and I was always welcome to it. I had more bread than some of the poor white children in the neighborhood. This bread I used to give to these hungry children, and they in return would give me the valuable bread of knowledge. With their help, I finally succeeded in learning to read. I would sometimes talk with them about slavery. I would say, you will be free as soon as you are 21 years old, but I am a slave for life. Do I not have the same right to be free as you? These words used to trouble them. They would express for me the greatest sympathy and console me with the hope that something would occur so that I might be free one day. The more I read, the more I began to detest my enslavers. They were just a band of successful robbers who had left their homes, gone to Africa, stolen us from our homes, and in a strange land reduced us to slavery. I hated them as the meanest and most evil of men. I would sometimes feel that learning had been a bad thing for me and not a good thing. It had given me the understanding of my terrible condition, but not the remedy. I often wished I was a beast, anything just to make me stop thinking. I often found myself regretting my own existence and wishing myself dead. Without the hope of being free, I have no doubt that I would have killed myself or done something that would have made others kill me. One day I got one of the city newspapers. I read an article about people from the North praying for the end of slavery. From this time on, the light broke upon me. I decided to run away to the North. Okay, everyone, so this is the end of this article. Tell me in the comment, do you face any difficult words, and how did you find my reading? I hope you like it, and please leave a comment below.